Spirituality and masculinity are closely related. However, you cannot really reach spiritual insights if you do not have sexual energy. I know, because when I was in the meditation center for 3 months when I was 19, you were not allowed to masturbate. You were not allowed to have sex. You were not allowed to touch yourself. And of course, you were not allowed to do many other things, but you were definitely not allowed to masturbate. Yes, you had sexual thoughts, but you had to let go of them through the process of meditation. Again, meditation is not something where you repress your emotions, you repress those urges. No, you embrace them, you allow them, and you let go of them. If you're constantly wasting your sexual energy through constant masturbation, with or without porn, or with sex with multiple women, through your consistent need to have sex in your life, if you cannot make your sexual energy a priority, if you cannot put aside your ejaculation for a while, if you cannot quit porn, if you cannot be more sexually disciplined, if you cannot put sex aside for a while, it will be hard for a man to reach his spiritual height, because you have to understand that sexual energy is precious. Now, don't get me wrong, you can have sex, you can masturbate without porn. Porn has no place in a man's life, but masturbation and sex are not wrong. But there's a time and place. If they are done in moderation, if they are not done as a priority, if they are not done as a way to show yourself and the world that you are a man, you are a masculine man, then it's okay. If you do it because we are men with desire and we want to fulfill those desires every now and then, it is okay when done in the proper way, in moderation. But it should definitely not be a priority. And it should definitely not be a priority to show yourself and others that you are more masculine, more of a man. Sex, porn, and promiscuity does not make you more alpha, does not make you more of a male. And it definitely doesn't make you more spiritual. If you are a person who wants to get to know yourself a bit deeper, if you're a person who meditates, if you are a person who wants to enjoy his solitude, boredom, if you have the intention to enjoy all those things, you are much better off to be more sexually disciplined, because sex and porn and masturbation are distraction. Some of them are okay in moderation. Some of them should not have any space in your life. But if you are constantly thinking about all those three things, it will be hard for you to gain spiritual insight. When I was watching porn, it was hard for me to meditate. When I was watching porn consistently, it was hard for me to gain spiritual insight. And even after I gave up porn, when I was constantly thinking about ejaculation, when I was constantly thinking about sex with women, I could not gain spiritual insight because my brain was too caught up in lust. Now, lust is not necessarily a bad thing in of itself. The lust we feel inside, we should not repress it or suppress it. We should let go of it. Understand that sexual discipline is not sexual repression and sexual suppression. It is sexual letting go. We understand that when our mind is filled with lust, is something we should let go of because it can overwhelm us. And if we indulge too much in that lust, we will get lost. But it does not mean we suppress and repress, because what we resist will persist and will come back with a vengeance and come back in ways you don't want in your life. Beware and be aware. You need sexual discipline as a man. You really need sexual discipline as a man, because spirituality is important. Masculinity is important. And if you want to be more in tune with yourself, or more in tune with women, more in tune in your relationship, you need that sexual discipline. Sex, lust, masturbation, and porn can prevent you from achieving greatness in life. And it will definitely prevent you from being a more spiritually sound person. Thank you so much for listening. I will see you guys.